Yo, what is going on? Let me see. Am I live? I think I am. Oh, wait a minute. Testing. Okay. I had to do something else. All right. Here we go. What's up, y'all? How's everybody doing? The transfer portal is heating up as we see. There's a lot of things going on. Colorado working fast, yo. They wheeling and dealing. They working, they have to. They gotta build a whole roster in no time flat. So we all know that they're working around here to get this thing going. It's going down. Let me see here. Just looking at what we have now, I should hit refresh because I'm by the time. Let me see. Let's hit refresh. Maybe there's some changes by the since I, Yep, there has been some changes. Just when I hit refresh, they have a new linebacker coming in. He's a senior and he's coming from New Mexico State. Tyler Martinez, senior, 6'2", 225. Okay, we'll get into that. I knew I had to hit refresh, and I knew something else was gonna go down. Let me close all these windows. What's up, y'all? How's everything doing? What's up, Jess? You said Shane Coast is the head of recruiting. That's what's up right there. He about to build the super team, man. From what I see here, Tyler Martinez just committed from New Mexico State. So we're just going to go down the line to see all the activity. Alexander McPherson, we know he was a freshman from IMG Academy. He played at Colorado. He is now projected to go to Penn State. So Alexander McPherson, he didn't take long in the portal. He's headed to Penn State. Who do we have here? Gideon Lampron. He's a linebacker. He's a senior, 6', 220. He's coming in from Bowling Green. Okay. He's coming in from Bowling Green. So we got a experienced linebacker. Because you know they need that too. We got Santana Hopper. He's a defensive lineman. He's transferring in from Tulane. So he's a redshirt junior, 6'1", 257, defensive lineman. So as you see, they signing people left and right here, man. Shit, I'm about to get signed next. You hear me, Jess? They about to sign me next, man. You know what I'm saying? They getting ready to sign me in a second. Just wait for it. Brandon Davis Swain, he's headed to Texas A&M. He got 4 stars next to his name. He has a very high rating, 4-star. Sophomore out of Bloomfield, Michigan. Sorry to lose him, but hey, man, he's taking his talents to Texas A&M. Yes, you too. You said me too. To the water boy position. No, I'm playing, Jess. They suit me up, man. As long as they break some bread, I'm about to make history. So yeah, Brandon Davis Swain, he's off to Texas A&M. Now Jaheim Otis, he has a very high rating in the portal. People say he can't play. I don't know why. Why is his rating so high? But he's a senior, 6'5", 390. He's headed to Ole Miss. So he's off to the he's back in the SEC. So he's back in the SEC now. You see, are these players black? We're about to get into that just today. We about to see. Okay, we about to see. We got Toby Anene. He's a red shirt junior. A lot of these people are red shirting, so they didn't get much. They only played about 4 games. So he's a red shirt junior. He's coming in from North Dakota State. He's an edge rusher. We got Tyrekus Davis. He's a cornerback. No, he's leaving Colorado. My bad, Tyrekus. He's leaving. We got a Marion Miller. He's got 4 stars all throughout his name. He's headed to Arizona State. Now, Omarion, let me just stop right there on Omarion. So Omarion, he's taking the other wide receiver position because he's headed to the NFL. Remember that wide receiver that was playing at Colorado? Well, he was at Colorado, but he left that first year and went to Arizona State, number 0. Remember, Coach Prom said he apologized to him after the end of the game. So he's headed to the NFL. He's projected to be in the first round. So he's projected to be in the first round. So Omarion is going there. So it makes sense for Omarion to go there. Because Omarion, what is this? Omarion is going to take his place. So that's a really good setup. Well, let me bring this mic. That's a really good setup for Omarion right there, Arizona State. Who else we have here? We got Nathan Mitchell. He's a redshirt sophomore. And we got a lot of red shirts coming in. He's a redshirt sophomore from New Mexico State. So a lot of these guys are trying to make names for themselves, man. You know what I'm saying? There's nothing. There's only one or two, there's only 2 players here that jump off the charts for me. I'm being honest with you. But we're gonna see what these guys do. They can come in and kill it. We'll see. He coming in from New Mexico State. We got Dylan Manuel. He's a sophomore, defensive line. Now he's coming in from Appalachian State. So we got him. Now Tafiq, he's another one going to Texas A&M. You know, he played at Colorado last year. He did really well for Colorado last year. But somebody said he ain't do nothing because he only had 1 interception, but he headed to Texas A&M, if that makes sense to you. He's headed to Texas A&M. So he's headed to the SEC. And then also Jaheim Otis is going back to the SEC. He's going to Ole Miss. So if he's garbage, I'm trying to figure out if he's garbage, how is he going to Ole Miss? Why would Ole Miss waste money on him if he's garbage? Something's not right here. Guys, I'm telling you guys, something's not right. I'm not saying that these players took a dive. I'm not saying they took a dive, but something's not right. Trust me, if I can't make it at Colorado, I'm not going to make it in the SEC. I don't believe these players are trash either. I think it's propaganda against these players saying that they're trash. They're not trash, dog. They're going Jaheim is headed back to the SEC. He's headed back to a major program in the SEC. And I had to call around on that one because a friend of mine, he works in the NFL. And I asked him about Jaheim. I said, do you hear anything about him? He said, yo, he good. He said he probably will be hitting a mini camp. He probably be hitting a camp probably after his stint at Ole Miss. Because he's on everybody's radar. So if he's good, what happened at Colorado? He said sometimes it's just a program. He said it don't mean that a player is bad. You said, why did he leave the previous school in the first place? Some people could have left for money because I heard that Colorado paid him a bag. But yes, he played at Alabama. Just to let you know that he actually played. So if you can play under Coach Saban, you should be able to play here. So I have a theory on this, but I don't want to say it because then I'm accusing people of stuff. I don't want to say what my theory is, but it's not set up. I don't think it's set up for Coach Prime to win here. I don't think so. I don't think it's set up, man. I'm not saying that people don't reach these players. I'm not sure. But let me tell you something. If it gets out that you can't play at Colorado, then all of a sudden you going back to Ole Miss. You said, I bet he got a bet. Yeah, he did. So my question is, like, can he play or not? What if the coaches know he can play? Hey, just go over there and just not play real quick and then come on back. I don't know what's happening. I'm not saying that's happening because this is only my thoughts. But I'm expecting him to go somewhere like Southern, or I'm expecting Jaheim to end up at, I'm expecting him to end up at, I don't know, Delaware or something. That's where I'm expecting him not to even play no more. The way people were talking about him. And then all of a sudden he had Ole Miss. I'm like, well, wait a minute. So I don't know. That surprised me there because I'm thinking now. What I'm thinking is the people that's talking about him and saying that he can't play, they're lying. I'm saying they're lying. I'm calling people bluff. I'm saying they're lying about him. Yeah, I'm thinking something different. I'm thinking something either big is about to happen, like you said, like he going to Cleveland because all his good players are leaving. Were they told something? I'm expecting Seaton any day now. If Seaton leaves, then I know something's coming. But obviously he's not leaving. So let me just continue. I don't want to keep going with my theories. But if you tell me that a player can't play and he's not really worth nothing with his little one itty bitty interception, and he's headed to Texas A&M, I thought he's supposed to be going to Delaware or something. You know what I'm saying? It may be Delaware or something like that. All these players are going to SEC, man. Some of these players. Now, Brandon Davis Swain, another one, Texas A&M. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? And what's his name headed to the SEC as well? The linebacker. I mean, not the linebacker. What's his name? The defensive end. London Merritt. He was just at Vanderbilt. So I'm like, what's happening here? If they not worth it, like maybe the only thing I can think of, guys, Colorado, they just don't have the budget. That's the only thing I can think of. That's the only thing I can think of. Now they're thinking about bringing in a quarterback now. So Juju don't he may not even have a spot. He may not even be guaranteed to starter at this point if they bring in another quarter. If you bring in a quarterback that got really good stats, he's not coming there to sit the bench. It has to be a money issue. It has to be because it don't make sense. I remember Coach Prime saying that he wants to swipe the credit card. Well, swiping the credit card is well, I already know what he meant by swiping the credit card, but maybe they ain't got it to swipe like that. They don't have the budget like I'm thinking they had. But some of these players coming in are red shirt, meaning they didn't play the full season last year. These people didn't play the full season. Maybe they were hurt or something like that. I'm not sure. You said all teams need a quality back. No, no, no. The backup that I heard that they looking at is not coming to sit the bench. He's not coming to sit the bench. Yeah, you said Indiana beating everybody with 3-star talent and great coaching. Well, I mean, let's see what else they got. They got now Danny Scudero. This is a player right here that he came from San Jose State. Danny Scudero, I think he's like a plug and play type of player. He's gonna come in and be successful from day one. Hey, listen, I don't need people coming in here with your propaganda about Jaheim Otis because if he couldn't play, he wouldn't be at Ole Miss. They would not have wasted time on him going to Ole Miss. Okay. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna delete your comment. Hold on one second, because you're not coming up in here spreading your stuff. You need to go back to old boy channel because you're not gonna gaslight me over here. Okay. You're not going to gaslight me over here. Just because a player leaving, we don't talk bad about players over here. Okay, we don't. You go back to old boy channel. I'm older than some of these players' parents. Okay, I'm damn near a senior citizen. I don't get gaslit, and you're not going to come over here with your propaganda because you said the same thing about Carmani, and he's doing just fine right now. So we're not going to sit here and talk about these players bad. We're not. Okay. I'm not talking about you gaslighting. I said the other people are gaslighting. He said that the kid only had one interception, but he's at fucking Texas A&M right now. Okay, so if he ain't worth nothing, why is he at Texas A&M? If he's not worth nothing. Texas A&M just don't go just after everybody. Okay? They just ain't going after everybody. Okay? So I don't want to hear that these players ain't worth nothing. I don't want to hear it. Why is London Merritt at in the SEC? Why? Why is the dude at Penn State? Why did he just get signed at Penn State? He's committed to Penn State. If these players ain't worth nothing, okay? He just immediately out of the portal going to Penn State. So it has to be a money situation. It has to be. So if Otis was not, how do you know Otis? Let me ask you a question, Sosa one. How do you know Otis? How do you know Otis wasn't good? How do you know? Do you have dealings with the team, or are you listening to Neely? If you listen to him, go back to Neely, bro. Go back to him. We done with the conversation. Go back to Neely. So let's continue. Danny Scudero is pretty good. I'm not gonna lie to you. He's what you call a plug and play type of player. Danny Scudero only gonna be here for one season, and he's off to the goddamn SEC. Okay, that's what it seemed like. But we got Danny Scudero. He's one of those players that is going to be really good. Danny Scudero. Lamont Lester Jr. Um, I've heard some good stuff on him. He out of Mama. That's out here in my neck of the woods. I've heard some good stuff on him. And he came out of Don. Now, let me just say something real quick about Lamont Lester Jr. He came from a really good program in New Jersey because I'm in New Jersey right now, so I know. And I played Don Bosco Prep when I was in high school. So he came from Don Bosco Prep. Don Bosco Prep is a really, really good school to develop players. So he didn't come from IMG, but he came from Don Bosco Prep. Okay. He came from you said I'm totally non-biased and actually support your channel, but you're tripping with a supporter of I don't ask people to come here. So you gotta understand something. I'm almost a senior citizen. Okay. I don't follow no crowd. If I let me tell you something. Let me just say something to you real quick. I'm not gonna please everybody all the time. I'm for the players first, not the coaches. I went hard for Shador in this whole season. I went hard. I remember people tried to give the Browns some benefits and well, they got a new play caller, it's gonna be good. No, the play caller needs to get fired too, along with the coach. Shador should have been starting out the gate. Okay. I went hard the whole season. I'm players first. I don't care about the coaches. Okay. Because the coaches got it wrong last year for Colorado. They got this shit wrong. Okay. How do we know he can't play or did the coaches get it wrong? I'm more thinking the coaches got this wrong. Okay. I believe so. I believe the scheming and all this stuff, they weren't prepared. That's just the bottom line. And the players checked out. I will not get on here and say this player can't play unless you can tell me something that you were with the team and you saw that he couldn't play. Okay, you're players first. So you shouldn't be tripping off what I'm saying. We both players first. But I can agree to disagree with you. Feel like he's garbage, he's garbage. That's just your opinion. I'm not tripping over that. But you can't, I thought you may have been sent. That was my thing. I thought you may have been sent. You know what I'm saying? Because the sentiment is, why should we give this player the money when he only had one interception? That's what he said. And I'm gonna hold him to that for the rest of this fucking season when they come up. 'Cause I'm gonna use his words against him. He said this kid only had one interception. Okay. Now my question to you is Brandon Hood. How many interceptions did he have the last year at Colorado? Because he's off to the NFL now, and he went to Tennessee. How many interceptions did he have when he was on in Travis Hunter Heisman Trophy year? Anybody know? How many interceptions did he have for that year? That's my question to you. Hood, I'm asking you. Because they let him go. So how many interceptions did he have Travis Hunter Heisman Trophy season? That's my question to you. Because he went off to Tennessee, now he's off to the NFL. We're losing talent. They can't keep them. Okay. Yeah, Colton Hoods. Thank you, Kimberly. There's a problem here, and I'm players first. Okay, I'm players first. Okay, because see, the sentiment is like, oh, he only had one interception. He's not worth the money. We can go get somebody else with better production. But this is what he also said. With a wide receiver, they didn't have this much production. But yeah, you're not telling the whole story because the quarterback couldn't get them the damn ball. You didn't tell the whole story. I watched the whole season. I saw what y'all did at Georgia Tech. It was the quarterback's fault that y'all lost at. That wasn't on Marion's fault. You should get him the ball. Just like how you guys got Travis the ball, y'all should have got Omari on the ball. He should have got equal amount of touches as Travis did. But they didn't do that. That's why they lost against Georgia Tech. They had a quarterback issue. And how do we know they had a quarterback issue? Because they played three quarterbacks and they were playing musical chairs with the quarterbacks. This is why the season was messed up. You need to tell the whole story instead of saying, well, he only had this certain amount of receptions and that's it. So he ain't worth the money. So let him go somewhere else so we can bring somebody in with better production. Okay, so you're bringing somebody in with better production, but who was their competition? I didn't forget what that kid did against USC. He's a good receiver. So Omarion be off to the NFL after he finished Arizona State because he's picking up where what's his name left off at because he's headed to the NFL now. Jordan Travis. He's headed to the NFL, so Omarion will take over where he left off at. Then he'll be off to the NFL. So you can't sit up here and say, oh, he only had this amount of receptions. Well, you need to tell the whole story on what happened last season. They had a quarterback issue. That's why these receivers, y'all couldn't even get Sincere Brown the ball. But when you got, I never forget what Coach Prime said in one of the games, in one of the last games with Omarion. He said, I don't know how you do it, but you be doing it. He said that to him. So what you mean he only had a certain amount of receptions? When Coach Brown said, I don't know how you be doing it, but you be doing it. And you're going to sit up here like this kid ain't worth nothing. Saying he only had a certain amount of receptions. We can go get somebody with better production. Yeah, you getting somebody with better production, but they're not coming from the SEC. They're not coming from one of the Power Fives. So we also need to evaluate their competition level. You know what I'm saying? Now, these players, I'm not saying that these players from other schools, listen to this. I'm gonna have to repeat this 3 times. I'm not saying that these players from other schools are not going to do something just because they came from a lower level. I'm not saying that. But you're not going to sit up here and tell and gaslight me and say that this person is leaving when he only had a certain amount of receptions, but we can get somebody in with better production. Well, we need to talk about y'all quarterback carousel that y'all had. You had a quarterback carousel. That's why the season was lost. When that defense went off the field to get a breather, they were back on the field in less than a minute. Back on the field. Okay, Miller dropped balls too much, but look, it was the same thing about y'all said about Jimmy Horn. I didn't forget. Oh, Max, he ain't going to the NFL. You crazy. He dropped too many balls. He's with the Carolina Panthers. And he's on the active roster with the Carolina Panthers. I know what I'm talking about. I can see talent when I see it. Just because somebody didn't do like have an all-American season, it don't mean that their ceiling is still not high. We don't know what he's going to do his senior year. He could be an all-American his senior year. This is the same university that didn't get D'Angelo, what's his name, from Indiana. They said he was too short, but he's a 2-time All-American. You said Neely needs to put context. He did put the context. He said that you have to look at the player's production and look what we got coming in. The receivers we got coming in got better production. They got better. No, you need to tell the whole story. You had a quarterback carousel. Y'all couldn't get the receivers the ball. Okay? That's what happened. Yeah, but I know Jimmy had talent, right, Sabrina? But I said he was going to the NFL. I said he's going to follow his brother to the NFL. I was talking about Weaver. I said next year Jimmy going to the NFL, and they told me he dropped too many balls. That's what they were telling me. Oh, he dropped too many balls. He's not going to the NFL. I said, do you see how he run routes? Yes, he's going. And also, it wasn't enough ball to go around. Travis got all the touches. rightfully so, because it's Travis. I know why they passed, but see, they made a mistake. I know hindsight is 2020, but I have to acknowledge that they made a mistake. He's a two-time All-American. He's headed to the NFL eventually, and he's a two-time All-American. So sometime, like I'm just telling you, I'm just being real here. Like they lost me on this one. I'm done. I'm really lost on this team now. I'm really just kind of like just talking about it now. Like whatever they do next season, I'm not expecting them to do anything because this is a rebuild. This is a total rebuild, and I'm not sure if it's sustainable. I'm not sure. And then also maybe the guy, the offensive coordinator, maybe he did bring some of his guys. I'm talking about some of his coaches. Maybe he did. I don't know. But if he didn't, I don't know. I don't know how this. I don't know. But he did bring some of his players. So that should help because he do have some quality players that he's bringing because I did some research on him. So yeah, but you just can't tell me that these players is leaving. They didn't have good production. You know what I'm saying? But their ceiling is high. Yeah, Brandon Davis Swain, he may not have had all the production, but he off to Texas A&M for some goddamn reason. I don't know why. I thought he was off to Delaware. I was expecting him to be off to Delaware or somewhere. Texas A&M. Where's he going there for? His production wasn't that good because they see the potential. They see it. Y'all can't see it though. It's either y'all can't see it or y'all don't have the money. That's just point blank. Period. But I'm not going to be gaslit, bro. That's not happening. You can't sit up here and keep talking about a player's production. He only had one interception when he played with a broken hand. He played with a broken hand and he was a shining star on that defense last year. But he ain't worth no. We can get three players for his price. He ain't worth it. He was worth it. He was. He played with a broken hand. He was worth it. So that's all I got to say about that. You said if they can coach like Indiana, yeah. Um, but yeah, I can't get. I'm not. He's. See, the thing is, if I was Coach Prime, I would just tell him to be quiet. Like you don't speak for me. You know what I'm saying? Because they having a Fields Day on Twitter on him. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, man. Saying that, we're looking at production here. Yeah, we were looking at production last year. Y'all were talking about all the production that this quarterback had coming in. Y'all talked about it. And what happened? He looked like a deer in headlights. So you don't know what's going to happen until they come in. You don't know. It's a surprise. They could come in and kill it. I do know a couple players that is going to come in and kill it. Those wide receivers that you brought in, they're coming in to kill it. They're going to have all American seasons. I already know they are. One remind me of LeJontay Wester, the one that they bringing in, the one from Miami of Ohio. He reminds me he reminds me of LeJontay Wester because I looked at his film. He's the real deal, but they need a little bit more than that to win, though. They need the real deals on defense. I don't think the offense was the problem too because they couldn't get the receivers the ball. They vacated the run. They had a running back that could average damn near 5-6 yards a carry, but they vacated the run in a lot of games. They don't talk about that. Yeah, his production was down because you vacated the run. Yeah, it has to be the money. If it's the money, that means they can't afford them. That's what that means. So you got to go out and get what you can get. So I understand, but you're not going to sit here and say it's because of their production. You're not going to say that. Not when these players are going to SEC schools. Let's see who else we got. I already talked about Nathan Mitchell. Um, he might be this kid here. I was watching some of his stuff from high school. He came out of New Mexico State. He might be something. He might be something to talk about. Tavion Coleman, and I don't know anything about any schools yet from him. I've already talked about Tyler Martinez. He's a senior. He's adding some experience at the linebacker position, and he should make a mark right away. He's came out of New Mexico State. Already said Dylan Manuel. You got Jaquel Smith. This is another one coming in with the coach from Sacramento State. He's a freshman. He just finished his freshman campaign. He's a running back. I know a lot of people got some nice things to say about him. Even some of the film I saw, he looks the part. Um, 5'11", 171. He's a running back. So we're gonna see. He's definitely gonna add depth to that room. Colton Allen, he hasn't found a spot yet. I'm not sure the word on DJ McKinney yet. London Merritt, it looks like he's headed to Vanderbilt. Because I saw that he was at Vanderbilt yesterday, another SEC school. So he's headed to Vanderbilt. Um, you said some people base their choices on potential future outcomes. That's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the ceiling. That's what I'm saying. I said this. Maybe you didn't understand when I said the ceiling. When they said their ceiling is high, I'm talking about future outcomes. Um, what is their potential like by their senior year? You said while others rely on past production data, I have relied on that too because Tafiq was damn near was the heart of our defense last year. So I am basing it on that too. But a lot of his stats, a lot of the things that he did on the field, you're not going to see in the stats. You have to watch his film. So yes, I am basing on that. Q, definitely am. Sorry about that, y'all. Yeah, I am basing it off that too. I mean, future, I mean, potential, the potential of these players, and also what they did for us. I already know Brandon Davis Swain is the truth. I already know that. And then another thing, another sentiment is they said, well, you guys would have knew about these players if we didn't bring them in. That's not true. I knew who Brandon Davis Swain before y'all even brought him in. We also do research over here as well. I knew who Tafiq was because my boy that I grew up with, his son went to the same school as Tafiq. I guess y'all didn't know that. And he playing at Virginia Tech right now. He's a cornerback at Virginia Tech. He played at the same high school as Tafiq. And he also came from a powerhouse school, a powerhouse high school that produces NFL players. Tafiq, actually. Because my boy, his son played at Virginia Tech. They went to the same high school. So we do know about these players. I just don't talk. Yeah, I know about some of them. I've heard about Seaton too before you guys brought him in. Because he's from the DMV area and I lived in the DMV area. I lived there for over 20 some years. I know who these players are. Um, so yeah, what he's saying is like I just can't I unsubscribe from dude. I just can't be gaslit no more. You're not gonna gaslight me with your propaganda. Um, so London Merritt, he's going to Vanderbilt. Toby Anene, where is he? He's coming from North Dakota State. I already talked about him. Staub is still looking for a home, I think. Reginald Hughes is as well. I didn't hear anything on Samuel Okunlola yet or Dallin Hayden, John Slaughter, none of these other guys. Draylon Miller, I haven't heard nothing yet. He probably off to the SEC as well. I guess you can look at Draylon Miller's stats and say he didn't do nothing either. So he ain't worth, with these people, man. I don't even want to keep. I'm beating on a dead horse at this point. Hopefully, Tyler Brown finds something. Alexander McPherson is off to Penn State. So yeah. Tafiq, we know he at Texas A&M, of course. Marion, Arizona State. Jaheim is at Ole Miss now. Somebody like to let them tell it with Jaheim. I'm thinking he headed to freaking. I think he headed to Division III at this point. The way they talking. You said Dallin Hayden. He's going to Memphis. Okay. Did he already say it? Okay. Dallin Hayden is headed to Memphis. So yeah, I mean they have some players here that they're bringing in. Obviously, there's going to be a lot more players that's going to be signed because they got to replenish the seniors that they lost. And also the players that hit the portal, they got to replace those players. And so it's just going to be a lot of activity moving forward. They got a lot of people to sign. They got a lot of people to get commitments from. You said Tyler Brown visited Memphis. I hope he go there and do something. And that's good for him to even get that extra season. He must have redshirted. So he got that extra year, before it's over. You said, does him going to Ole Miss mean Ole Miss is up there and they was in the playoffs. That's a top caliber team. You saying prime team was mismanaged? What I'm saying is it doesn't mean that a player is garbage. It means that maybe just the system didn't work out for him. Got to go. So yeah, Terrell Timmons. Terrell Timmons got a few offers as well. Yeah, he hit. I was just thinking about him because I was talking about their wide receiver room not too long ago. I said, well, at least they got Terrell Timmons is still there and a few others, but now he hit the portal. So hopefully it works out for him somewhere else as well. You said we need to hire Dr. Jerry Root as team chat. Are you trolling? Who is? I don't even know who that is. You said that's my thought too. CU didn't work. Yeah, just sometimes it just don't work. Sometimes it just a system don't work out. That's why I say when people hit the portal, you got to be careful hitting the portal because you might go somewhere and it might not, but it might work out. You can't think that way though. You got to think that it is going to work out. But I keep hearing that. Oh, another thing they're saying, well, we had a lineman, we paid him a lot of money. That's what they're saying. They paid him a lot of money. They talking about Jaheim, even though he said, well, I'm not going to say any names. He really is saying names because he said they brought in a lineman that they paid a lot of money to. That's Jaheim. That's what they're talking about. And I don't agree with them talking down on the players like that. I don't agree with it. That's why I got a sour taste in my mouth. I don't agree with it. Like, so what? I mean, okay, he had a certain amount of production, but did y'all get the receivers the ball though? No. You barely did. You barely got these receivers the ball. Now, I don't know why it didn't work out for the quarterback. Maybe it was just a different system that it didn't work out for him. I don't know. But does he have skills? Yes, he does. He does have skills. You said Tim was needed this year, low key, but yeah, I was surprised that one kind of hit me. I was like, damn, I didn't realize it. But really, the portal is still early in the portal, so some people could still enter the portal. So you just got to think about it like that. Now I do know that what was told to me was a couple of these players are not leaving for money. Like, see, they're saying that it's for money, not all the players. They're not leaving. Some of these players' families are not downtrodden, as they might make it seem like they're not. Some of these players' family actually has money. So it's not the money. So for some of the players, it's not the money. And the players are not going to say none because at this point, why should they? You know, um, but to say that it's for all these cases is money. It's not. It's not the money. But I'm not going to let him gaslight me and say that's the case. It's not the case. So that's what. Oh yeah, I know. I saw what you said earlier. So that's what I'm saying. I'm players first, and then like I said, just like the new players are coming in, we wish them players the best. But if them players decide to leave after next season, I'm not going to talk down on them because they came in to help. You know, whatnot. They came in to help. You know what I'm saying? They came in to help, and so I wish them the best as well. So it's the same thing. You said Chipotle. You call him Chipotle. What's his name? You call him Chipotle? Is that his nickname or you being funny? You talking about Chidozie? Oh my God, you said Chipotle. He signed with Montreal. Shout out to him. He signed with Montreal. I think you talking about Chidozie. You said a lot of this is other teams running games like Isaiah Augusta. Um, oh, you talking about when he with University of Virginia? And I don't know what happened with him. Um, like a player like that would have benefited by staying another year at Colorado. Because he actually has some skills, he could have just stayed where he's at. Like some situations better to stay where you at. But if a situation is deemed intolerable, if it's deemed intolerable, then it's okay to leave. But some of these players, it's oh, you said it's a type, yeah. But it was funny you said Chipotle. I'm like, damn, that might be his nickname. Let me stop. But shout out to Jadozi going to Montreal. That's a good way to get to the NFL. Get your playing the Canadian League a little bit, and then work your way back. He'll kill it over in the Canadian League for sure. He is. But shout out to him, man. He can get a check over there. He gonna go dominate too. I'm gonna now that you told me that, I have to mark that on my calendar now. I have to follow him. I definitely gonna follow him and see what he doing. He gonna kill it over there though. You said they telling them that they want them and jump in the portal, then change their mind, like Amarion and LSU. Nobody said nothing about Amarion going to LSU. He's at Arizona. He's at Arizona. Yeah, he just announced that he's headed to Arizona. I didn't hear anything about him going to LSU. Now, maybe you think that because he's from Louisiana, but I think Arizona's a good fit because Jordan Tyson was there. They have a need to fill because Jordan is going to the NFL. Omarion seemed like a good fill-in for that situation over there. That seemed like it's a really good spot. And that they just signed on another quarterback too. So that's a good spot for Omarion. He's in the same division, ain't he? I wonder if they play Arizona State next year. I'm gonna have to see. I didn't look at the schedule. Tim is on a visit at USF right now. Yeah, I like Terrell. I thought he was gonna stay and add to that wide receiver room easy. I thought so. Um, I thought so, but yeah, he USF ain't a bad school, man. USF, I believe it was a USF quarterback hit the portal and he went somewhere. I forget. I think it was USF. Yeah, I'm thinking it's the money. Um, the lost realist, but they should just say that. Like, don't say that like, well, we can go get three for the price of one. What you saying is they not worth nothing. Like, Yeah, we don't need him. We'll just go get 3 for the price of that. Nah, that don't sound right when he said it. But if you just say, well, shit cost out here, then you don't have to say you don't have the money. You can just say, things really cost out here, then I'll get it. Yeah, USF is good, Naisha. Yeah, yeah, Bryce Brown. There it is. He went to Auburn. Yeah, but USF produced a lot of good talent. From the research I started doing research on them when Weaver and them came over, and Jimmy Horn Jr., Xavier Weaver. I'm like, they really produce some good talent over there. They have a good system over there, a good recruiting system, and they produce some good things over there. You sit here and we got another wide receiver been a commit. They got 2 wide receivers. Colorado got 2 wide receivers, man. They got the one from Miami of Ohio. He gonna do some LeJontay Western numbers. Yeah, got the linebacker coming in from Bowling Green. See now you talking. Like when I'm seeing stuff like that, okay, now we talking. But he was on Arizona State live stream. They talking about like he's Randy Moss. Yeah, well, the reason why is because the reason why the reason why is because we played him twice. So they know what Omarion could do. That's why. I heard about that. I heard they were talking good about him. But yeah, they didn't like him when he was with us though. You know what I'm saying? But he was a headache. But yeah, he's with them now. That's why. So yeah, Arizona State, they definitely know what he can do. Just because we played him, we played him twice. And also is not out of the realm of possibility we can get some of them Arizona State players. It's just musical chairs. We get some of them. But I don't think we got any from Arizona State yet. I don't think so. There's a few from Arizona State that's in the portal right now, but I'm not sure. I'm gonna just say this for Coach Prime: if he can get the players on a visit and they get in his office, he sealed the deal. He's gonna get everybody. If you come there and you talk to him, you're not leaving. You're not leaving. You're not leaving at all. He's gonna seal the deal every single time. And that's the difference for this season. He's very active. And the last time he was like this, he knows how to turn a roster around. That's the only thing I'm gonna give him. He knows talent. And when you come in his office, he's going to seal the deal. You know what I'm saying? It's just a matter of fact that maybe the school don't have a big budget like that. I honestly think Prime should be good in Florida State somewhere. You know what I'm saying? Or Vanderbilt, or you know what I'm saying? He would be fine there. He wouldn't have to worry about nothing. If he went to a school like Florida or Florida State, he wouldn't have to worry about this no more, about not having the money. He would be able to keep the players. Don't you think Prime knows? Like the thing is, for some of the players that's leaving because of money, there's no hard feelings there. You know what I'm saying? Because if you can go get the money elsewhere and we can't pay you, there's not wrong with that. But on my only problem was, and this didn't come out of Prime's mouth, this came out of Neely's mouth. This he's talking about player stats and this and that, like they not worth nothing. That's when I had a problem. You know what I'm saying? You can't say a kid ain't worth nothing. He played with a broken hand and still made plays for you. But it could be you just don't have enough on that credit card to swipe. I'm pretty sure it is. It's like that because he said it. We got to go swipe the credit card. He said that the first year, and he built that roster to the point where they got to a bowl game. Okay, so he can build a roster. It just take a while. He can build a roster. I don't have to worry about their wide receiver room. That's one thing you ain't got to worry about. And another thing you ain't got to worry about is their cornerbacks. You never have to worry about that. Their safeties and cornerbacks, nah, you ain't got to worry about that. The only thing you probably worry about is the defensive line. That's pretty much it. The defensive line, offensive line, and linebackers. Everything else is plug and play. He's been known to have good receivers since he was at Jackson State. That's just what he does. But as far as the swiping of the credit card, that's not his fault. Hopefully, the athletic director come in and raise money. and get these whales on board. But I guarantee you, if you put Coach Prime in Indiana with that squad, he would be winning the same thing, and they'd be winning. So it's just what it is. You got to work with what you have to work with. But yeah, he would have loved to keep some of these players. I'm pretty sure of it. But think about it. If you can go get $800,000 somewhere else, then that's ain't no love lost there. You got to go get that money. You got to go get that money. You know what I'm saying? It's just the nature of the beast now. But as far as recruiting is concerned, you get him in that office, he gonna seal the deal. You're gonna seal the deal, especially when the parents are there. If he got the parents in there with you, he's sealing the deal every single time. Oh, I like Coach Pico. His son coming, and his son is on the roster now on the defensive line, so that's gonna be good. Especially if he's like his father, he's gonna be real good. You know what I'm saying? So there are some positives. So that's what I want to talk about now. But there's some positives here. The positives are Coach Prime built the team before, and he knows how to do it. He can do it by himself. I'm just telling y'all this. He can literally build the team by himself. And then, which he's done. He's done it. And he got Travis. He got all these good wide receivers. He always have a plethora of wide receivers and cornerbacks. And now it's just building that defensive line. And that's not too difficult to build that defensive line. Um, Even if they're coming from the lower divisions, they just got their production got to be there. As long as their production there, they're ready to go. And it looks like the players that they have coming in, they got some good production. So, um, yeah, the team is being remanufactured. I don't have, dude. I'm gonna block you because I'm at the age right now. I don't have no hatred towards nobody. I'm real about it. Okay. They have not, you said stats are replaceable. You haven't replaced Travis yet. You haven't replaced Brandon Hood yet. You haven't replaced Shiloh yet. You haven't replaced Shador yet. Okay. You haven't replaced Wester yet. Horn yet. Should I keep going? Because they have not replaced Shador yet. You said stats are replaceable, right? Well, then replace Shador then. They didn't replace him last year. Okay. They didn't replace Travis last year. They didn't replace Hood last year. He went on to Tennessee off to the NFL. You didn't replace Shiloh. You didn't replace, well, they did replace Silman Craig. They did. They replaced him with Tafiq. So they did replace him. But no, they did not replace everybody. They did not. They were hurting last year. You can't replace you can't you can't replace Shiloh. You didn't even replace Shiloh either. If you really want to talk about it, they didn't replace Jimmy Horn. They may have, but they didn't play what's his name. I wanted them to play Mathis, but they didn't play him. You know what I'm saying? They didn't play these people. No, you can't replace. It's some people are irreplaceable. But see, it's a bad taste when he say that. I have a right to critique somebody. I don't hate this guy. I don't know this guy like that to hate him. I don't know this guy, but I'm critiquing him. I'm giving my opinion. You know what I'm saying? Shit, I'm not as bad as 0 to 60. I don't take personal shots at people. He does. I don't take personal shots and say that Coach Prime using the school money to go see his kid play in Cleveland. He said that. I don't take personal shots like that. You know what I'm saying? That's why they don't have a problem with me because I don't take personal shots. I didn't say that he's using its school money to get private planes to go to Cleveland. That's not me. Okay. I didn't reveal emails or text messages and saying, well, Prime, this and that. Well, I didn't want to work there. I don't do none of that. I'm saying that what I'm saying is I'm giving Tafiq credit. He's not replaceable. So I'm giving him credit. Okay, just because he only had one interception, he had it with a broken hand. And he had a lot of production with that broken hand, and he gave a damn. He gave a damn. So I'm bigging him up. That's all I'm doing. You're not gonna sit up here and say, well, he only had this much receptions. Well, why don't you get him the goddamn ball then? Give him the ball. Yo, the receivers and the quarterbacks didn't give him the ball. He didn't get the many touches he was supposed to get. They had it because they were playing carousel with quarterbacks. They had a quarterback carousel last season. So miss me with the fact that you can replace numbers because it's hard to do. You can't replace numbers. Randy Moss hasn't been replaced yet in the NFL. Actually, he has. I mean, I like what the dude, what's his name? Mike Evans is doing. Don't get it twisted. I like Mike Evans. But you haven't replaced some of these great football players of the past yet. They haven't been replaced. Myles Garrett just broke what's his name record. That stood for a while. Yeah, man. Yeah, that's all I'm saying right there. Yeah, you know what? You might have said that before. You said Caleb Meady moved a nickel back. Maybe you're saying that because on special teams he be sitting up there hitting people. Quarterback position is the most important. And the thing is, for some reason, Donovan, that position hurt us last year. And I couldn't understand why, because they gave what's his name the keys. I remember they had that whole propaganda out. Shador handed him the keys like he's the net, and they didn't play him. Maybe he wasn't ready because I wasn't there. Maybe he wasn't ready. So I have to submit to that. Maybe he wasn't ready. Listen, I hope they would. They please play Mathis, please. Did you know they played him in the last game? You saw that catch he had. You saw that hard catch he made. He got good hands. So I'm just bigging up the players. That's all. I'm not hating on the coaches. We haven't talked about the schemes yet. I'm not talking. We ain't talked about that. I'm not hating on none of the coaches. Coach Prime then said Neely said it. He the one said it. Well, we can replace stats and this and that. You haven't replaced Shiloh yet. No, you haven't. No, you haven't. We missing Shiloh. We missing him. We missed him last year. But Tafiq was good though. So he was the error. He was the replacement for Silman Craig. We did have a replacement for Travis, but they just, maybe they didn't have the money to swipe. Because Hood was the replacement, but they didn't have the money to swipe, maybe. Maybe they didn't have Juju ready. Because you got to understand, things happened last offseason, this and that. So, yeah, maybe he wasn't ready yet. You said, I'm hating on Coach. Come on, man. Why are you hating on Coach Livingston, man? Come on, Keith. No, the coaches, think about it. Coach Livingston, he have a good season this year as far as his personnel. Things could bounce back. I think they got to stop the run, but for me, it's easier said than done. Herman Smith going to San Diego. You said Herman Smith going to San Diego. Oh, I didn't know that he had to San Diego. Okay. It's easier said than done. The Power Five, it's hard to win at that level. But they have some improvements. Maybe stop the run a little bit more. Because Coach Prime said if you give up that many yards, it's hard to win the game. So he already knows that. So he knows better than anybody what they need. But my only position was, like I said, is I don't like when you minimize the players. You know what I'm saying? So yeah. That inspired me. He out there playing with a broken hand. You know how old school that looked? Out there playing with a broken hand, man, and getting it done. I really appreciated Tafiq this year. I really did. But anyway, the players that's coming in, I'm gonna be the same way with the players coming in. You know what I'm saying? If they play hard, man, I'm rocking with them. You said Livingston, come on. I know y'all see y'all want to go in now. Come on, digital. You said Livingston is trash. He has yet to stop. Y'all going in, man. I can't control it no more. Y'all crazy, man. You said Livingston. Come on, man. Come on, Keith. Keith, where you come from? You came out the rafters. Y'all come. Keith and Keith and Digital coming out the rafters with it. You said, Buff, I see you fall in love. Nah, I don't. Come on, bro. Nah, what do you mean fall in? See, you that's what Neely talking about. What you mean fall in love with the players? I'm bigging him up. He's a good player. I thought, man, it hurts to see some of these players leave. That's all. I don't fall. I don't like when you say fall in love. Now, come on, man. Um, Livingston. You said Livingston can't play for the players. That's right, Donovan. That's why I say it's the personnel. So I don't know why the players weren't watching film. Because when Ray Lewis said, "Do y'all lock in?" Only 3 people raised their hand. Like when people raise the only 3 people raise their hand, I'm thinking they checked out. That's the only thing I can think of. Like after a game, do you really lock in to go watch film and really study it? Only 3 people raised their hand. So I think it was just this season was doomed from the beginning. You said you fell in love with Adam Hopkins. I wish he could have gotten an opportunity. Um, he's not there no more though, right? I don't. Yeah. Where did he go? Where did he go to? Let me see. I forget what school right now. I got a whole list. Like when they leave here, I follow them at their other schools too. You know what I'm saying? Hermione at Florida doing his thing. No, but I know he was a 4-star. But where did he go though? Damn, I can't remember the school he transferred to. You say you fell in love, man. Jess, you've been. Let me tell you something. Jess has been trolling me with Shane Coates from guys from year one. Jess, you got to be related to him or something. You said Impossible Coach Prime has a quota for film watch hours for each player. I know because he said, like, do you watch film? Livingston doesn't know how to use the spies and doesn't know how to scheme linebackers. Hopefully, Marv. Yeah, they have the linebacker coach coming in, so that should be corrected. Oh, wait a minute. We got a linebacker coach. Wait, they got another linebacker coach? I know they said another linebacker. Are they co-linebacker coaches? That's my question to y'all. I know we already had one. What's the name of the linebacker coach? Um, yeah, I think they got a new linebacker coach. Yeah, they do. So we'll see what happens. But the other linebacker coach, he's still there though. You said they moved Hart out, but he's still there, right? Contextual, or you said they got Mark. Right, they do, but is Hart still there? Coach Hart ain't coaching. Coach Hart is going to the Saints. Yo, yo, Jess, yo, DJ, what's wrong with your boy, man? And you know the crazy thing is, Jess is not a troll. He's been on the panel before. Yeah, co-defensive. Oh, co-defensive. Yeah, Hart is still there, but it's not over the linebacker. So he's a coach still. I like Coach Hart. What's wrong with Coach Hart, y'all? He cool. Um, let me see. What else we got? Coach Prime is analyzing the talent that come in, so they should be straight as far as that because he's there this year. He's back looking healthy. He looked younger than me. What the fuck? Coach over there looking younger than me, man. So he good this year. Hopefully, knock on wood, man, he be straight this year. He don't went through it. If you think about his career at Jackson State all the way till now, we got to give him a pass. I'm sorry, you got to give him a pass. He had a lot going on, but this year he back at it. He back at it this year. And it's something about him taking that picture and meeting with them in his office. Once he do that, you know the player's coming. You know what I'm saying? Because coach, he'll have that conversation with you. Can you help us? Can you help us? You know what we need. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, coach, I saw y'all couldn't stop the run last year. Yeah, tell me how you gonna stop it though. Tell me how you gonna stop it, man. You know how that feel to have him talking to you like that? I'm like, coach, where do I sign, yo? I'm ready to play, yo. You know what I'm saying? 'Cause I know that's what I'll do. Yeah, Coach Pollock, still there. Okay. You hear what I'm saying? Sabrina, coach talking to me. Max, how can you stop this run, man? You know we had a problem last year stopping the run. I know, coach. I got you. But are you willing to watch that film though? Are you willing to give it your all for me? Bro, and he said that to me, Sabrina, I'm not leaving there. I'm like, I got my bags here. I'm ready to sign now, coach. So that's how I said when coach gets you in that office, it's over. He said, by the way, how are you crashing out? We're only a year removed from a 9-3 season, a Heisman and Unitas winner. I crashed out the first season. I crashed out the second season. I'm always crashing out. No, I'm not crashing out. No, no, no. Wait a minute. Wait. You got me mixed up with 0 to 60. No, I'm not crashing out. I'm not crashing out. What I'm saying is when you say a player, oh, he only had one interception, we can go get three for the price of him. He only had, but no, you gotta go look at the film and see what he brought to the table that the stats don't cover. He did a lot on that defense. So you're telling me either you don't see it or you don't care. That's what I had a problem with. That's all. You don't see me going in on Coach Hart like everybody be doing. You never see me talk about Coach Hart. You know what I say? Is it Coach Hart or is it the personnel? We weren't talking about Coach Hart when he had Hill Green there and and what's his name? Levante Bentley. We weren't talking about the defensive line with Chidozie. Think about it. Everybody was bigging up Livingston the Heisman Trophy year when they went 9-3. We weren't talking about the defensive coordinator, but we're talking about him now. Um, you said, how is it okay to go 9-3 to 3-9? It happens. Shoot, man. It let me tell you this, right? To go from 9-3 to 3-9, well, you lost Travis in them. You lost Travis, you lost Silman Craig, you lost Shiloh, you lost Chidozie, you lost Hill Green, you lost Hood to Tennessee, you lost um Shador, Jimmy Horn, LeJontay Wester, Will Shepherd. Oh my God. You know what I'm saying? I just named 10 right there. That's why they went 3-9. That's why. What did Coach Prime say when he saw Shador for the first time come up back up there? He said, I'm about to get you to suit up. You better suit up, right? It's just a joke, but you know. You say you lost Shador and placed with somebody deer in headlights. Yeah, we gonna have a crash out season. Jess, listen, we need to bring Shane Coates back. Dude, if he come back, you the first person I'm gonna be looking for. Brendan Hood. So yeah, we lost a lot. So yeah, we gotta replace everything that we lost, along with building other players up. So it take time, maybe a couple years. Which this could be the year. So it take a while, man. But I do like those two receivers coming in. Remember that kid from Bowling Green, man? I mean, not Bowling Green, Miami of Ohio. Remember, he's gonna have a good year. Um, he's gonna have a really good year. They also brought in that guy. He got to be related to Aqib Talib. He has to be. I believe somebody said, yeah, Brandon Hood. I believe Aqib Talib relative is playing with us now. I already know he gonna be good. You don't have a name like Talib, it ain't gonna be good. And also, there's another player I'm looking at. He's gonna be good too, linebacker. Yeah, Quib Talib's nephew. Okay, I already know he good. You said Hood was a baby boy who left because his brother wasn't getting playing time. I know I keep hearing that. People keep saying he left because of his brother. That's unfortunate, you know. But like I said, you lose all those players, it's hard to replace right away. So yeah, that's how the season went down. It's his nephew. Okay, I already know he gonna be good. I already know he know the game. If his dad and his uncle was around him. I believe Talib brother played in the league too. He had a brother play in the league, I believe. He was a wide receiver, I think, if I'm not mistaken. You said people don't realize he could have lost his life. Hopefully, he finds self motivated players. Yeah, when you talk about self motivated, you probably talking about watching film. The thing is about that, it's understood that you have to watch film. I don't know. I would be watching an excessive amount of film, but that's me. You just got to get you just never know what players you're going to get coming in or what's going to happen. But he's back this year. He's looking real good though, Spur. So all that's behind him now. He's looking real good. You know, got his health back. The health is the most important thing. He got that back. He can just it don't matter. I mean, shit, if you think about it, 3-9 season, hey, at least he experienced it. Things sometimes you're gonna have a bad season. It just you never know. Just gotta rebuild, man. But as long as they get the quarterback situation straight, they're good to go. Because that was the problem last year. And stopping the run, stuff like that. But yeah, they should be all right. He said if Livingston and Schumer were at least average at their jobs, CU could have 9 wins. All games were close despite all the injuries. Yeah, that Georgia Tech game was close, but the Georgia Tech game seemed like it came down to the quarterback. Because I looked at that game again, it's almost like they could have won that game. Most of the games were close, except for that 40, that down by 40 at halftime game. That would happen back to back, but yeah, a lot of the games were close. But hey, I say this after every season. Everybody start at 0-0 when the season start, so they start with a clean slate. But I'm gonna tell you something though. Despite all of that, man, shit, they can be 3-9 again. I still like talking about it. I ain't gonna lie to you. It's fun, ain't it? Just sitting here talking. It's a lot of stuff going on in the world. A lot of craziness right now. At least we get the debate on football. You know, I like that part about it. You said Livingston in the hot seat. You think so? I think there's a lot of pressure this year. For me, it's no pressure. I mean, if they win 5 games next year, I'm okay with that. Obviously, they want to win. They want to win a lot of games, 8 games, 9 games, 10 games, right? That's the goal. But I know that they still rebuilding. So you know what I mean. But um, I know they ain't gonna be hurting at the wide receiver position. I can tell you that much for sure. And they got some decent linebackers coming in. So we'll see. They got some, they might have to do some things. I think we got our starting safety coming back. Ben's still there. He might be inspired this year to really be an All-American. We'll see. Um Stoutmeier's still there. He was hurt last season. Stoutmeier got hurt. They did have a lot of injuries. Stoutmeier got hurt. Um, you think so? He on the hot seat? Well, he ain't gonna have no. They bringing in some linebackers. They bringing in some linebackers that got some production. So they're gonna have a lot of experience at the linebacker position. All they got to do is now is tighten up on the defensive line. They straight. They'd be good to go, Keith. Which they are. I've heard they got a lot of people they meeting with. A lot. They have another tough schedule, so really they got to stop that run. Then, if the schedule is really tough, yeah, that they really want to stop that run. That's what I heard. That's what somebody was telling me. They really want to be focused on stopping that run this year. So what they doing is they getting some linebacker stuff. They got to get some people that got some production. You know what I mean? So that's what he's going with. Some seniors, some juniors that's played multiple years and see what they can do. He ran for 200. I know he ran for 200 yards. He said, "Why is it a sense of urgency to recruit wide receivers but not offense?" I heard they are going for some. It's just that they're still early in the portal. They got some offensive linemen coming, I'm sure, for sure. We just haven't really. I thought I saw one on the. Let me see. No, not yet. But if you look at Sacramento State, let me go to Sacramento State real quick. If you look at Sacramento State, no, that's from North Dakota. Hold on, let me see. No, that's Appalachian. If you look at Sacramento State for a second, right? Look at all the players they got in the portal. Look, they got quite a fit. Let me see what this guy is. He's coming to Colorado. Oh, well, he's going somewhere else. Where is he going? Okay. He's a cornerback. That's a defensive lineman. Deshaun Watts. He's in the portal. So I don't know if Colorado got action to him or not. Now, Cardell Williams. Cardell is in the portal. He's a quarterback. So I don't know if they're going after Cardell or not. Um, I think they are. Maybe they might be going after Cardell. He's a quarterback. Let me see. No, I don't think I looked into him yet, but I heard that he got some good film. I believe that's Cardell. Maybe I'm thinking of somebody else. Got another cornerback, defensive lineman, Jalen McLaughlin. These are all the Sacramento State people. Wait a minute, Jaden Rashada. Hold up. Well, he might have been this. Wait a minute. I didn't realize he was with Sacramento State. Hold up. Let me see something. What the hell happened with him? He was being heavily recruited a few years ago. They named him the starting quarterback last year. Yeah, he was at Georgia. I thought he was at University of Georgia. Well, damn, what happened with him? Shador going to the Chiefs. Yeah, Jess, you crazy. Shador staying where he's at. You said there's a big O-line kid on campus right now. Yeah, more being recruited. So they got the offensive line is coming too. Now I must say this. Even though they only won 3 games last year. That offensive line improved though, for sure. Yeah, Sabrina, 9,000 people are in the transfer portal. That's what TC said. T Cal said 9,000 people. So you gonna get what you want out of 9,000 people. All you gotta do is just look. I'd be like this at night. Just look, going through the paperwork. Like, let me see. Okay, with offensive lineman, he's 6'7", 400 pounds, no 300, 380. Let's get him. Let me check that off. Look, I'd be like this. Who else we got? Um, he's a senior, 6'8", 300 pounds. All right, let's check him off. What kind of production he had? Okay, cool. He didn't allow no sacks. Okay, cool. We're going with him. That's what I'll be doing. Okay, defensive lineman. Okay, let me see what we got. Defensive lineman. It's a lot of people out there, man. 9,000 people is a lot. You're gonna find something out of 9,000. Somebody also was telling me though, the transfer portal is gonna get worse. As far as the money is concerned, because each year the price go up. They said each year, eventually teams gonna have to rebuild every year. Damn near. Because players is just like going around. Yeah, they do. They did get the person from North Dakota State. They did. You said those play. Look at Jess. You said those players are trash, like Otis. Everybody ain't trash out of 9,000. Yeah, the offensive line delivered last season. At least we can agree on that. But like I said, if I was prime, I'd be like this. Okay, 9,000. Okay, all right. What did he do? Okay, check him off. I'm like, all right. At least you come in and bring him in for an interview. But I know he'll seal the deal if he talked to the players in his office. It's a matter of time. What do you guys think gonna happen with Cleveland? Who you think the coach gonna be? Who you think? It's a lot of coaches out there in the coaching pool right now that will love to come in. John Gruden is one of them. Bill Belichick name was put out there. The old Miami coach, no, excuse me, the old 49ers coach name was put out there. It's quite a few people right now. You said Andrew Barry set it all up so Shador could play. I heard that. You said Gruden is good with quarterbacks, right? He'll be in that film room with Shador. They'll be in there watching film the whole offseason. You said there are so many offensive tackles guard, right, in the portal. You said they're taking their time, ain't no rush. Yeah, if you got 9,000 people in the portal, you got enough people to be okay with. At least, get everybody in. Damn, I didn't realize that many people in the portal. Even Jess in the portal. Jess, I heard you in the portal. You heard this young Kubiak. You said 9K people in the portal drives the price down. Yeah, I think so. Damn, that's a lot of people in the 9,000. That don't damn 9,000. That's crazy. Shit, I'm gonna put myself in the portal. You know what I'm saying? Damn, that's crazy right there. You said Shane Coates got 1 million from in it. Damn, that's a lot, Jess. He was good though. I like Shane Coates. He's a pretty decent player. He played hard. You said a big defensive tackle from East Carolina just hit the portal. You said the block bully said, "Go get him." Kid name is I know who you talking about, Justin Bento. And you said the block bully. He probably recruiting for helping us recruit. You said the block bully said, "Go get him." Okay, they're going to get him then. He coming to Colorado. If Chidozi said go get him, they're going to get him. Trust me, they're going to get him. Let me see. Uh, Justin Bento. We going to get him, man. Let me see. Is that his name? Let me see. You said a lot of long snappers in the portal. Oh, Benton. Sorry. All right, I got it. Thank you. East Carroll. I see it. He looked the part too. See him? Oh no, y'all can't see him. Yeah, he definitely looked the part. Yeah, man, we'll see. He was supposed to go to Florida. He said Schwartz, he should be the head coach. We'll see. And you said a lot of long snappers in the portal. Shit, that come dime a dozen though, right? Damn, 9,000. That's a lot of people, man. But Jaden Rashada, this is interesting to me. He played at Sacramento State. He was a really heavy, he was a coveted recruit coming out of high school. And now he back in the portal. Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, I just looked it up. Justin Benton. He looks the part. They should like maybe they will go after him since Chidozie said it. Yeah, he was supposed to go to Florida State for big money, and then it was a whole big controversy around that. Then he went to Sacramento State, and now he's back in the portal. But anyway, guys, I'm gonna get out of here. I'll be back a little later because I want to look at some of this film and then come back, man. Because yeah, they slowly building here, so we'll see. But I will catch you guys a little later. And yeah, man, it's going down every day, man. By the time the portal end, that'll be it. All the deals will be met. Then we'll go from there. But I'm curious to see what's going on with Rashado right now. Shit, he can come on to Colorado, man. Is he good? He can come on in there. Then we'll have the quarterback room straight. But we got what's his name? Ponder still there, and I believe the other guy. I can't remember the other kid. Then we got Juju ready to go. We'll see. Said Miss Peggy in the portal. She's straight. She riding out, Jess. But all right, y'all. I'll catch you guys a little later.